Hello there, people of the internet. This. I don't like that song. This is Doodle Empires. I think. Yeah, Doodle Empires. I've played 2 hours of it on my laptop, and I'm now playing it on my computer. And I recorded 9 minutes of video, but I didn't get what I wanted. So this is actually not gameplay. Today, I'm going to be recounting what happens to the prehistoric empire. This is actually all real. Hope you enjoy this documentary. The next few events were wild. Northern Antarctica merged with South Antarctica. This event shook the prehistoric empire to its core in Greenland. The Antarctic situation was getting insane, and then North Antarctica split. This is the textbook event. The North Antarctic split. This event shook the world to its core in Beijing. It split into Yemenland, Landia, the Empire. Two. Yeah. Why did my thing go so small? This split shook the world as the southern parts of North Antarctica broke off to form Yemenlandia. The Empire 2. They're gonna read. We got pretty far. That color sucks. I'm sorry. That color's better. At this point in history, these were the countries. And then, a wild event occurred. A split. South Antarctica came back. This is the event that shook the world to its coriest core. In Togo, South Antarctica regained its independence from Northern Antarctica. In most, I guess this isn't most, in many of their prehistoric homelands. Then, the next great event happened. The prehistoric empire, what remained of it in Antarctica, split again. This was Iceland. Iceland was a this is still like 1930. Really, really old. They split off to surround all of these breakaway regions because they were sympathetic to their cause, but didn't feel like being made of cheese. And this whole region obviously split off because they were disconnected. What was the name of this country? I forget already. Yemenlandia. Yeah, these guys, they were sympathetic to the rebels. Really sympathetic. I'm surprised this isn't taught in every history class around the world, because the prehistoric empire, man, they're the reason every single country on Earth has people. Yeah. Their influence runs deep. Did I leave myself enough ink to connect these? I did. Let's go. Oh, it's Iceland. I'm wrong. What was Yemenlandia? Oh yeah, Yemenlandia is this one. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Anyways, Age of Conflict. Split. The prehistoric empire, they had the biggest split yet. Unironically, this split shook the world to its core. In New York City, the people only known as these people violently uprose against the prehistoric empire in these mountains. They were gruesome people. They ate burgers with potatoes in the burger, like just raw potatoes. These people were so devastating, they are why Antarctica is cold. Seriously, these people are why Antarctica is a frozen wasteland today. They single-handedly froze the entire continent in 4 years. They all left their fridges open for way too long. It's kind of sad. At least they gave us penguins. These people at least gave us penguins, but it's just, we could have had a tropical Antarctica if it wasn't for these people. How much? Oh yeah, it's a 50-50 split. That's good enough. North Antarctica then had a large expansion. These people, they waged a violent war and claimed all of this land in the war. They also took some of that. This is the moment where they really got their hands on everything. They punched through here, and that is not it's a small expansion. I misread it. So they actually, I'm remembering now. This single invasion right here, they all left a shitload of refrigerators running, and it froze the entire continent. The next 3 weeks would be incredibly eventful. Maha Iplia and Yaha Iplia would declare independence from the prehistoric super empire. They would also then start a mass invasion to try to reclaim the continent, and a volcano would erupt. These 3 events would shake the world to its core in Perth. Would then launch a counter-invasion to try to expel them back from this part of the continent, and would be very unsuccessful, only capturing a little bit of land. Is this these guys? Yes, it is. Okay. North Antarctica would then try to regain some control of this side of the continent, starting by punching back against the prehistoric super empire, and they would be incredibly successful. in doing so. They would then try to conquer some of the, and would be incredibly successful. They would then try to conquer some of this guy, Yeatmanlandia the Empire 2, and they would be less successful. Yaha Iplia would then undergo a massive and brutal civil war between them and the... I'm running out of colors already. And the Bleg. The Bleg would violently uprise in the south and conquer vast quantities of Yaha Iplia. The next few weeks are a doozy, so let me just map them out real quick. Around this time, in 1903, a country called Neo-Antarctica, with a leader named Wheezy. Wheezy? They're called Wheezy? That's funny. Well, Neo-Antarctica would launch a mass multi-front invasion of the continent in hopes of quelling the chaos and unifying the continent once and for all. North Antarctica would then medium expand against the prehistoric super empire, pushing in multiple fronts and reaching Yaha Iplia. Or is it which one is this? I don't remember. They would then do this really annoyingly. They would then large expand and conquer the entirety of the two Iplias. Well, not the entirety, but they would conquer from both of them, leaving this tiny little bit of Yaha Iplia behind, for unknown reasons, actually. Researchers are still doing archaeology there. It's just a little inconvenient because it's so cold. Their balls keep freezing. The weirdest thing would happen next. South Antarctica, after being very inactive for a while, would undergo a split. A country with a, quite frankly, absurd name. Shit, you can't read it. Let me just paste it real quick for you, because it's insane. These people went by the name of the Neo-Antarctican Empiristic Republic of the Ice and Snow. Who does that? It's ridiculous. Like, you thought North Antarctica was stupid. No, these people are the Neo-South Antarctican Empiristic Republic of the Ice and Snow. I'm not making this crap up. I couldn't make this crap up if I tried. This all happened. Of course, these borders are just approximations because of the software I'm using, but you get what I mean. Did the turn just go up? I don't know who I'm uniting. I didn't look. Okay, so the Neo-South Antarctican Empiristic Republic of the Ice and Snow then unified with, I forgot who their name. I forgot their name. This happened. It shook the world to its core. In Belgium. Would then do a massive offensive against the Neo-South Antarctican Empiristic Republic of the Ice and Snow. It's insane. These people, they then split. No one saw this coming. Didn't even see it coming. Then emerged from the. Everyone was very confused as to why both of these countries decided their names should just be determinants. What is it? The indeterminate articles. Why these two countries decided their names would be articles? The world didn't know. Even South Africa. The offensive halted around here at what is now known as the Jutlandse Northern Antarctica Pass. A pass made up of these two countries right here. Just before that pass. Shockingly, one of the two of these countries, one of the two Iplias, would push back. Yaha Iplia. Followed quickly by Maha Iplia. The two Iplias got sick of North Antarctica being in their lands. Nah, what, bruh? They're so small already. Relative to the map. Well, it happened. South Antarctica would split into South Antarctica. Antarctica. Right there. That was it. Souther Antarctica. South Antarctica would emerge as quite possibly one of, if not the strongest countries. Maha Iplia would then continue their offensive, and this is quite wild, because at the same time, they were getting a new leader. They would then expand even further. These events shook the world to their core, as they just would not stop conquering back land. They would then quickly unify with Yaha Iplia. Maha Iplia then quickly resplit after the unification just 2 weeks later, because everyone was pissed in Yaha Iplia. They didn't want this. And so they were going to fight like hell to get Yaha Iplia back. However, they made a typo in the name, and they forgot the thingy, apostrophe? No, that's not an apostrophe, it's a... No, it is an apostrophe. I got apostrophes and commas confused. Yaha Iplia would then redeclare independence, a fraction of their previous size. And then they would split again. The newly conquered areas would rename to Kwaha Iplia. The Iplia family... Oh shit, I forgot to change the color, hold on. By this point, there were 3 Iplias. In 1903. On New Year's Day of 1904, the weirdest thing in history would occur. North Antarctica would split. This split was seen as insane at this point in time. It shook the world to its knees. In Central Africa. This split was so unexpected that the world, quite frankly, still is recovering to this day. Queensland. Named after Queen Elizabeth, who was born in 1903. Point 1. Queensland, the Queenslandian uprising would start here, and they would spread, violently fighting like hell to honor Queen Elizabeth, who was immortal and born right after the dinosaur-killing asteroid. They fought ferociously around this part of Antarctica that I forget the name of, but has a name. They would fight valiantly. They would even capture this beach, which to this day is still known as Queensland Beach. They encircled some people here. They pushed off against the coast here. They would take this coast before jutting inland to capture all these people who surrendered. Except they never got all of them. I was not paying attention to up here. This is inaccurate, actually. This is actually an inaccuracy. They did actually capture this. I'll fix that. I fixed it. They actually did capture that. I just ran out of paint in this software that I'm using to recreate it. The real events of what happened in Antarctica from 1903 to 1903. This all took place in 1903. It's kind of hard to believe, but it's true. Neo-Antarctica then founded a religion known as League Gimab Yals. League. It's really hard to pronounce, actually. League Gmab Yals. The religion would go on to become Christianity. Yeah. Jeez, they're so small. What the hell? What the hell? Game. This is unfair. No. No would go on to be a very insignificant country. They didn't even make it into my history book. My history book covers all of this. It's kind of wild. What the fuck? Ah, shit, I haven't been changing any of the colors. Oh. There are two religions, apparently. That's interesting. All of these countries only have two religions. Origin mode. Oh yeah, because all of these countries came from the prehistoric super empire. No one has built any forts yet. The next event would occur in Yaha Iplia, where they... God damn it, what the hell? This is insane. No. Just no, I'm not doing this. No, screw you. Yeah. I was actually wrong. I misremembered. No. Would go on to become a super empire in their own right. Let me just go fast forward through all of this. The start of their super empirehood would be the building of Kasatla. No. Kasatla is where we get the modern word castle. They would then found their own religion known as No. And they would then... Oh, new tribe. I don't think that... Wait, does that... Wait, hold on. There's no empty space. Game, there's no empty space. I don't think you can do this. No would then get a new leader. And then no. Stop game. Stop trying to split all the time. Origin diverged. I don't know how this works, if I can be totally honest. Stop. This all actually happened. This is quite possibly the biggest event in human history. Neo Antarctica unified with North Antarctica. Neo Antarctica was starting to achieve their dreams of unifying the Antarctican continent with all 7,400 of its population. The biggest population in the southern hemisphere. Neo Antarctica would then adopt their own religion, because that's stupid. Why would they change from Ligma-Yals? No. Sure. Did they just do it? Okay, they didn't. Neo Antarctica would then wage a deadly and violent war against all of the... This is not what I expected when I saw large expand, like even remotely. That is not a large expansion. You know what it is? This is a large expansion. This would be considered a large expansion at this country's scale. Okay, game? This is actually what happened. See, that's considered a large expansion, not 15 pixels, Mr. Game. The next event to occur would occur in northern Antarctica, where they would actually split. This split shook the world to its toes in Mexico City, where the country known as South Greenland would declare independence from northern Antarctica. Specifically on these two coasts, followed quickly by waging a war through... Is this northern Antarctica? No, wait, that's Queensland. They would violently fight through Queensland to reach there and there before conquering this entire strip of land, where I think that's part of the prehistoric empire. They would quell all northern Antarctica sympathies in this strip of land before jumping like this. They got on boats and they boated like this. They shipwrecked there, then there, then there, then they shipwrecked there, then there, then they went backwards on accident, shipwrecking there. Then they shipwrecked there, then they missed their target, shipwrecked there, and they finally landed here, where they would then sweep through, hoping to reach the other coast, but never quite reaching it because they got confused and went south. This event didn't shake the world to its core. In fact, no one even noticed the event. Where South Greenland would do this. They also went by the name of South Mexico. If you didn't want to, if you ever knew that. New leader select nation of these guys. Which country is this? Is it these guys? Yeah. Or is it these guys? Oh, it's these guys. What are these guys? I don't know. Anyways, the country of Sexyland. You probably heard of Sexyland, actually. It's really well known. The Sexyland Museum in Ogunquit, Maine is named after these guys. Sexyland would violently uprise right here on this coast. Exactly on this specific pic. This is a really annoying zoom and pan method, if I can be totally honest. The devs really need to make this not be like this. When I zoom, and the zooming, it's so slow. Like if I hold on to this pixel, it shouldn't do this. It is no longer on that pixel. It should stay on that pixel. Anyways, this specific pixel is where the Sexyland Republic would be born. They would conquer this pixel before going over here and here. They would then conquer all of this pixels right here before immediately giving up over there and landing over here on this bay. They would conquer this bay and all the lands over here, renaming this whole region right here, these pixels, they renamed it to Potato Chip. They then grabbed a bunch of spots along this coast, and at this point, what is this country's name? I don't remember. We no member. This country would violently fight back and never get a single piece of land back. Jesus Christ. They connected all of their holdings over the next 3 years, ending in 1904. It took them 3 years to get all of this. Remember how fast these guys conquered everything. Yeah, these guys took 3 years to get this. Their pace would rapidly increase over the next 2 minutes, and they would grab all of this before starting an approach southwards, starting at the most northern end. They would march north like this. That's actually like northwest. And they would cut off these people. They would then jut southwards, grabbing a huge chunk of land in the process, before haphazardly marching through like this to cut off everyone. They would then suddenly make a very sharp observation that they're being really slow, and would rapidly march like this. At this point, it had been 16 years since 1903, and they were only this big. At the same time that was going on, Northern Antarctica would undergo an age of division and build a castle right here called Pee Poo Poo Land. The Pee Poo Poo Land, Kasatala. Similar language to the... Oh, it is the same. No, that's Kasatla. This is Kasatala. It's actually a dialect. That language is actually, Antarctican. Is it there's huh? Wait, who is this? I don't know. Anyways, Cheese Land would appear. Why am I so tired? I don't know. Me confused. Okay, Cheeseland would take that little bit, followed by that little bit. And there's no other exclaves, so they would just end with that. Around this time, in 1907, Neo-Antarctica would undergo a massive invasion. Jesus, this isn't a large expand. That is not a large expand. Look how much land they have. That's not a fucking large expand, game. Fuck you, game. I'll do a large expand myself if I have to. No. They would undergo a massive war of conquest against these guys. Is this Queensland? Yeah, this is Queensland. They would undergo massive war of conquest against Queensland and anyone who stood in their way. They conquered all of this in their single large expand, because that's what a single large expand should look like for a country this big.
Knock knock. Hello, Dean's YouTube channel. Did you pause it?
They would reclaim these lands and take the time to wipe them out. They would then wage a terrifyingly effective Yeatmanlandia, the Empire 2, would then split. God damn it, game. Why are they splitting? I guess because they're like this. Anyways, Blake would come back. Who is this? These guys? Yes. They started a counteroffensive. I'm now going to skip 16 minutes because it's so fast I cannot tell you about it. Neo-Antarctica would expand slightly and then split. God, it just doesn't want to do my story. Which isn't a story. It just really does not want to follow history. Because this part is just straight up not historical. This split is not historical. Not fucking historical. Why is it poopy brown? This is what they consider small. Yet when they do a large expand, it's like 5 pixels. What the shit? This is not small. This is... what? 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 I don't know what's happening. What does this do? I don't know what that compass does. Anyways, I'm gonna have to fucking edit this because I'm pretty sure it's been record when I don't want to and pause when I do for like half the video, which is infuriating as all fuck. Anyways, I'm gonna skip the next 17 minutes to what is basically the current state of the world. Because it's basically, you can't really use the features of this game at this point. Like, this next event that actually happened, this is the last event like this, where, who is this? I need to pay attention. I don't know who this is. Ah, it's not a, it's one of the empty countries, okay? Tank. That's a funny name. Anyways, the next, Tank. Oh yeah, Tank. How did I forget Tank? He was in my textbook like 3 seconds. 3 pages. He carved out a little empire that he named. And he named it after himself. Well, the next 17 minutes would just be the Neo-Antarctic Empire doing this. They started... I'm just gonna... You know what? I'm just gonna do a little... you can watch the war as it unfolds. Okay, I'm fucking mad now. I'm fucking mad. Watch this. So, I'm painting as these guys, right? I want to switch to them. That doesn't work, of course. Left click, that doesn't work. Middle click, that doesn't work. I deselect the draw tool. Nope, that doesn't work. I do this, select. That doesn't fucking work. If I go to the draw, I'm erasing. I have to reselect them again. There is zero fucking way to just switch countries. Zero. Unless you go like this, I'm pretty sure. But then look what I have to do. Look how many countries there are. Which one is this? It's Queensland, of course. Which one is this? Oh, it's the. They have to find it. I can't left click. Why can I not just left click? And why can I not deselect draw? There's no way to deselect the draw tool. That's the worst part. Why can I not deselect the draw tool? It's fucking bullshit. After the world reached this state is when things started taking a really weird path. There was a lot of unifications happening for the next while. A lot of unifications and invasions. Just back-to-back invasions and unifications. 0 revolutions occurred. 0 new countries occurred. Just a lot of unifications and expansions. Basically only unifications and expansions. So apparently disasters. Like those 4 meteors that occurred. Expansion. Multiple war-torn eras. Constant expansions and unifications. No, migrations don't fucking work. These guys finally continued their punch like this. Their eventual goal was to inevitably reach right here, but they would never reach it. Watch this large expansion. That's how much expansion they would have been able to get away with. That's a little pathetic, not gonna lie. Watch a medium expansion. It's just 3. And well, that got up a little more. No, fuck you. These guys were vigorous in trying to inevitably reclaim their lands, but they would never be able to. Bleg unified with these guys, and then these guys would actually unify with This shook the world to its hands in Buenos Aires. Am I on these guys? Who am I on? Who am I on? I guess I'm just not building a castle. Whatever. Fuck you. Neo Antarctica would then do a large expansion, which would actually be tiny little pathetic baby expansion that I'm not gonna respect because this is a This is a large expansion. Thank you very much. It is around this time where Neo Antarctica conquers the entirety of the northern coast of Antarctica, excluding this little, tiny, little, tiny little baby island right here, which would go on to be named North Antarctica. North Antarctica doesn't exist. It's just Northern Antarctica at this point. Anyways, Northern Antarctica would start a large expansion that would end up being... Who in their right mind considers that a large expansion? That large expansion is smaller than that medium expansion. A new religion would be founded called Qwerty-Uyip. Qwerty-Uyip would go on to be an unknowable phrase. No one knows where this phrase comes from. It says here right in my textbook. On page 36. Where is it? On page 57, actually. Happily, this is no longer the case, which must be of some comfort to these creatures. I don't know what that means. It's a really good textbook. My college gave me it. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Qwerty-Uyip. No one knows where that word comes from. Color, why is it always default to black? It's inconvenient. Fuck! Why does it pause when I do this and not when I do it? That was fucking paused? Fucking done with this stupid fucking video. Try to have fun.